it's 15 minutes to the public. There's only Sue here. Something to say, Sue?
Not
No?
at the moment, I
No, okay.
I wish to raise a point of order, please.
Okay.
It's not for the chair, it's for the vice chairman, so I've got a copy of the paperwork for you there, vice chairman. Got a copy of the paperwork for the clerk. Councillor Price is not eligible to chair the meeting on the basis of the Local Government Act 1972, Section 83, paragraph 4A and C.
Okay, I'll stop you right there. Not a problem.
You will not stop me.
Yes,
I'm
I will
addressing
stop
the
you.
vice
Or
chairman.
you'll be stopped
You
from
are
talking.
not the chair.
I am the chair. We've already checked this. We've been through it now. We have 28 days to check that
I've just
paperwork.
witnessed you
Kevin,
sign
one
the
more time in
declaration
your
of
hands.
office.
Right.
No.
I will put a motion, or Raymond can put one if you want to do it.
Actually,
None of this
have you
argument.
read that yet, Vice Chairman? Have
You
you
don't
read
need
it
to
yet,
read it.
proper officer?
Doesn't need to read it.
You absolutely need to read
No,
it.
we don't. It's the same as
Can I interject? Can I interject? No, I will. You two need to sort your act out because you have both fallen out over a petty argument. It is ridiculous. You swallow your pride.
The point
Please,
of
Chairman.
order, unusually in the Local Government Act, is unambiguous. The declaration of acceptance of office must be signed at the meeting at which the election takes place. There is no ambiguity. I've just witnessed you provide...
Declaration couldn't be signed because I wasn't allowed to speak, so nobody
Don't
would
need
speak
to
to me.
speak to hold your head.
You said I couldn't vote, so where do you want to go with this?
Well,
that's been fine,
I'm
that's wrong, isn't
addressing
it?
my
So,
point of order to
point of
Vice
order.
Chairman.
We're going to stop this right now. I'm the chair, we're going to stop this.
You're not
if
the
you
chair.
carry on, we will have a vote and you will exclude it. I'm not having this.
I'm not
having this. Be quiet now.
Order,
I've told you,
to
we've taken your point of order on board.
You're not eligible to assess or adjudicate the point of order because you are not eligible to chair
Mr.
the
Vice
meeting.
Chairman, may I propose a motion?
There we are.
I propose a motion that regardless of Mr. Johnson's point of order, as Lee was duly elected as chairman, on a technicality of not signing it, I propose a motion that Lee be allowed to chair this meeting. We all accepted him as chairman, and I believe so the majority of the council passed a motion to accept him as chairman. So therefore, I believe he should be chairman. If Kevin wants to raise a point of order,
what you believe.
well, it's up to you.
what the legislation
the argument
requires.
is Lee can chair it. Let Kevin make his reports and his what you call it into
Well, the fact that
council.
you're addressing your interruption to the vice chairman pretty much reinforces the point
Well,
that the chairman is
I'm just trying
illegitimate.
to, it's not Kevin. You've seriously got a problem with Lee and you're trying to block it. As per usual.
If you
It's your personal
if you would
vendetta.
just
Right, gentlemen.
keep the temper in check.
I'm
Listen, gentlemen, come on.
Could we have a seconder, please, for John's motion?
What is the motion?
that Lee chairs this meeting.
That would be ultra virus. Have
you
you read
want to, Kevin.
the legislation?
That's fine. If you want to follow up and make and
Nothing,
report the
no
council.
decision that is made at this meeting will be valid or legal.
Well, no, technically, no meetings at the last meeting while you were chair, because no notice went on the notice board. The meeting before that, there was no notice on the notice board, so that's a void meeting. Yes, it is.
Mr. Chair, the point of order is...
We've had a proposer, can I have your attention please? We've had a motion which has been proposed and seconded for Councillor Lee Price to chair this meeting. Those in favour, please raise their hands.
It's illegal.
Am I allowed to?
Yeah, because you still have a vote.
Well, you should contribute as the proper officer.
Right. Could you make a note, Ivor, please?
Yes, yeah.
Please. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
4, 5, 6.
Those against, please.
I think we need somebody completely different
I
because
completely
we're not
agree.
going to
We're
get
not going to get nowhere.
We're not going to get
What happened
anywhere.
last week was absolutely disgusting
It was.
on both parts and for everyone involved.
Yeah.
So, I understand Lee, being checked, but personally, I think there should be someone
The vice chairman should chair this
Completely
meeting.
different.
because the behaviour what happened last
Well,
week
we're trying
was
to
a
get a few
detriment
things.
to everyone.
We're trying to get a few things. We've been speaking with Cornwall Council legal people and everything like that. Everything that's above board.
You're not the chair.
But
This is-
the behaviour
But
was
the
so
behaviour-
bad.
Yeah, it was, but if you'd have
So
seen
bad.
half of the emails and abuse that we were getting, somebody had to step in and do it.
Where are they?
I mean, we've just had them, they were the police. So I can't comment on that any further at the present time.
Your behaviours with the police.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Councillor Johnson, may I ask a question as assistant clerk?
Well, no, you need to address points
May
to
I
the Vice
ask
Chairman.
a question, Councillor Pearce, as assistant clerk?
Yes, ma'am.
There was no clerk present at this meeting that's been discussed. What is that an issue? How could Councillor Price sign the acceptance if there was no proper officer clerk at that meeting?
There was. To answer the question, if with your consent, Vice Chairman, or not, as you
I would
like.
ask a question.
Yeah.
I'm unsure.
Perhaps
Would you like me to answer it?
No, thank you.
I was going to say a compromise would be to let Councillor Price share this meeting with your support and then check what the situation would be with CALC afterwards.
There was a proper officer at the meeting.
Right, Councillor Johnson now, please, we've had
Councillor
enough.
Morris was
Please,
installed as the proper officer.
Yeah,
prior
about
to
5 minutes
for the
before the
election.
chairman was elected. Come on, Kevin, you're being really
Exactly.
petty
No, no,
over a
no,
small issue.
excuse
If it
me.
was anybody else that was voted as chairman, he would not be raising any
Are you going to ask me
technicalities
to quiet?
of signing it on a
No.
tiny little line that covers it. It's petty,
I just-
as per usual.
Are you
Petty,
gonna ask me to
petty,
quiet or not?
petty.
I just want to answer Emma's question to me. Yes, I'm prepared to help Councillor Price chair this meeting.
Yes, you could chair it officially with the support of Councillor Price until we verify the situation.
The
Councillor
situation is
Johnson, I have
exactly
read-
right in front of you.
I don't need.
Councillor Johnson, I have read what you said and I do take it on board.
And we'll take on board and we will look into it. Thank you.
Well, let's continue.
Thank you.
Is all the other councillors happy for it to continue?
Or we had a vote and it's 6-2 and 2
It wasn't 6 to 2.
You'll
There
never
were
win.
4.
We're 6-4, yes, we have to continue. And we will look into it.
Okay?
Thank you.
Right. Going to be any more interruptions?
Well, there'll be points of order that are raised when they're due.
And then we won't accept it anymore. Any point of order that will be put into place, we will have till the next meeting to request to look at them in full before we take any.
Points of
action
order
on it.
raised as they arise.
Can I ask why this was allowed to continue in this way? Because obviously we have people in the room that don't get on with each other. So why was it allowed to go back to almost like what we were a couple of weeks ago?
I'm not really sure. I found it embarrassing,
Mm.
and I found our last meeting embarrassing and disrespectful to ourselves
Mm.
and commissioners, and I'm still embarrassed about it.
Yeah.
So hopefully there will be no more.
No,
It's,
it's
it's disrespectful to the public.
it feels like
They
we've had
watched it and everyone knew what was being watched. And
but it seems like we've allowed it to go back to
was
the same
terrible.
strain again.
And I'm hoping it won't prove any further
Okay.
for the rest of this meeting.
Yeah.
If
I
I
don't
may,
want to hear anything, thank you.
if I may say something, if we're still
Well, hang on, you
talking-
have to be equitable in who you listen to. You can't say to me, I don't want to hear from you.
Well, I'm
and then listen
listening
to
to
somebody
chairman
else.
of the council. So I'm
Because
addressing.
that's bullying.
It's not.
Well, it is.
Can I'm just going to say out loud, whether somebody lets me or not. Since the last meeting, we have achieved an inordinate amount of things. We have got stuff done. We are back on track. As a council, we have got some really great ideas that are going to be put forward to this council. I joined this council again to get stuff done. We're already getting stuff done. Everybody around this table needs to have a think to themselves why they're sitting at this table. Are they having to sit at this table to score points and not see past their own vanity and their own pig-headedness and think why they're here? We're here for the parish. We will and can do good things.
I
But
agree.
if we get tied up in all of this pettiness, and it's pettiness, And spending time looking up tiny little lines and this and that. Why don't people spend their energy helping the parish and putting things forward and getting stuff done? It is ridiculous. It is somebody's pride that is getting in the way of this council doing its thing.
Going forward, I 100% agree,
Yeah.
and I agree that all councillors should be here for the purposes and here for the right reasons.
I wish to speak, please, Vice Chairman. This is not petty, it's fundamental. This is the Local Government Act, it is the bedrock of the legislation by which local council is run. It's unambiguous, which is rare in that act. This has nothing to do with personal pride. This has nothing to do with one-upmanship. This has nothing to do with anything other than the continuation of the last 12 months' hard work of getting this parish council out of the hole that it dug itself into over many years of failure or ignorance or lack of willingness to understand and apply the due legislation. That's what this is. The reason it's important is because nothing that has happened since the 28th of June has a legal basis. So it's all open to challenge. No decisions that are made tonight will be legitimate because they are open to challenge. That's why I didn't want to give you my opinion,
okay, I'll stop
because
there.
I know where it's
Open
going.
to challenge. It's open to challenge. You have the right to challenge. Put in writing
That's
a
why
challenge
I
and we will deal with
printed
it.
it, and I don't really appreciate Councillor Price's interjection. Councillor Prynne spoke at length and eloquently and was uninterrupted. I wish the same courtesy would be extended to myself.
I'm offering that courtesy.
Yeah, I know, and I thank you for it, without the interruptions. So that's why, this is not my opinion, this is legislative, black and white.
Lovely. Thank you for raising it. Thank you for raising it.
It's also ironic that the chairman, the previous chairman, clearly stated at a previous parish council meeting when he was chair, when we didn't meet the stated guidelines for getting notices on time, that we hadn't had the annual parish meeting, that his, and I quote, loosely quote, was something along the lines of, oh, what's the worst can happen? They'll just take it to judicial review. So it's all right for Councillor Johnson, when he was chair, if things weren't going his way,
Councillor Prynne to continue, then there has to be a right of reply.
I know.
Thank you,
Thank
you for your
Yeah,
comments.
I'll say it.
Right, we're now going to carry on with the meeting. Any challenge that is made can be quite happily made in writing that will be dealt with by the proper authorities and the proper channels, and will be talked about at the next meeting if it's within 28 days. Okay, so that's the end of that. Right. So we're gonna go through. So we've got a declaration of interest.